Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to a new episode of your favorite program around the world. Friends, in today's episode, we will not only discuss any international conference, controversy, or event, but we'll also discuss the theories behind them. We will analyze how the realistic approach works in global politics. We will also understand how only the interests of the powerful countries matter in the international politics. In global politics, the concept and policies made by these powerful countries are important, and the interest of other weak or marginalized countries are sidelined. Even the voices of these weak countries are suppressed. In short, international politics revolves around a powerful nation or group. In the words of the Greek philosopher Thrasymachus, justice is nothing other than the advantage of the stronger. Actually, we are talking about the attitude of the US and the European countries on the Russia-Ukraine war. You must have witnessed how the European countries almost formed a bloc and imposed various restrictions on Russia. Furthermore, this bloc is also urging other countries to stop trade with Russia. At times, the tone of this urge extended to threats, as we saw in the case of India purchasing oil from Russia. On the contrary, the so-called justice-supporting countries have adopted double standards on the Israel-Palestine issue. Significantly, 74 years have passed since the Israel-Palestine conflict started in the middle of the 20th century. However, the chances of finding a solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict seems feeble, as the so-called justice-supporting countries have made less or no efforts towards finding a solution to this conflict. In addition, these countries have dominance in international organizations and conflict-preventive mechanisms, due to which the Israel-Palestine conflict is not coming to an end. Adnan Abu Amir, professor at Ummah University, Gaza, terms the different standards of Western countries on Ukraine and Palestine as hypocrisy. Professor Amir says that the European countries have wholeheartedly supported Ukraine by pretending that there is no similarity between the situation in Ukraine and Palestine. On the contrary, Palestinians have perceived Russia's invasion of Ukraine as an attack on their own lands. Palestinians observed direct similarities between the land encroachment, military violence, and the war experience of the people of Ukraine, which has been going on for the past several months. Despite all this, the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, did not consider Ukraine's war situation similar to that of Palestine and considered it similar to that of Israel. He also compared the violence against its citizens and their exodus with that of Israeli citizens. Actually, there is neither similarity between the disputes related to Ukraine and Palestine, nor one should try to find one. But the voice of equality, freedom, and democracy of European countries is undoubtedly raised only where the interests of these countries are involved. Palestine is just an example with the help of which we are trying to understand the double standards of European countries. If we talk about the Russian invasion of Ukraine, then the citizens of Ukraine have fought bravely against Russia. Europe has not only openly supported Ukraine in the Russia-Ukraine war, but has also directly supplied arms to Ukraine. When Russia invaded Ukraine, then Europe declared Russia the aggressor without any delay. The European countries not only threatened Russia both individually and collectively, but also urged other countries to condemn Russia. On the contrary, in the case of Israel's aggression on Palestine, European countries maintain a stand that Israel has the right to self-defense. European countries accepted Ukraine as the victim and described the act of the citizens of Ukraine taking up arms against Russia as patriotism, but when Palestinians take up arms against Israel, then European countries term them as terrorists. Significantly, thousands of Ukrainian civilians have died and lakhs of Ukrainian civilians have been injured in the ongoing Russian bombing for the last 10 months. Similarly, thousands of Palestinians have died in the Palestine conflict, which has been going on for more than 70 years. But interestingly, European leaders are ready to criticize the Russian bombing of Ukraine round the clock, but they do not speak a word about Israel's bombing of Palestine. Actually, all such bombings should be condemned unilaterally and not selectively. It is noteworthy that not only Western politicians, but also the Western media adopts a double standard. It is not that such stands are taken only by politicians and the media. Even sports and culture are being influenced by these European countries due to their dominance. In this context, it is necessary to mention the boycott campaign run against Russia. The boycott campaign run by the European countries against Russia was widespread and rapid, but they have hardly ever shown so much solidarity on any other global issue. Notably, Russian citizens, whether they support Russia's invasion of Ukraine or not, were barred from participating in international events in the field of education, culture and sports. Significantly, the Russian football team, which had qualified for the FIFA World Cup playoffs and could have made it to the tournament held in Qatar, was barred from playing in the tournament. Till now, we have taken Palestine as an example to expose the double standards of the European countries. However, there are various other countries that have become victims of the double standards of the European countries. Actually, the empire of European countries extended to Asia and Africa continent, and these imperialist powers were successful in establishing that Western race education, culture, art and politics are the best in the world. In the words of Immanuel Wallerstein, the politics of the periphery countries are also governed by the core countries. In this regard, the US and European countries are examples of core state, whereas those countries which are resourceless and economically dependent on the core countries are periphery countries. It is necessary that whether it is Ukraine or Palestine or any other country, every country should be treated equally. The difference between the aggressor and the victim should also be recognized, whether it is a European country, Asian or African country. That's all in this episode. Let us look at today's question. World politics is not governed by ideal principles but by power. In the light of this statement, make a realistic review of the current global order.